has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
So, a couple things. This SportsGrid live on Twitter, on X, is kick-ass. It's at SportsGrid TV. You can watch the network live right there on X in front of your very eyes. It's pretty cool. Go check it out right now. And then get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's free. It's unbelievable. You can follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. And you get everything else, highlights, video, scores, stories, news, odds, in-game odds. You get it all. Plus, the app lets you watch the network on your phone right there in living color. And you can also click listen and listen to the radio version, which is the same as the TV version without being able to have to look at us. It's just fantastic. I think you're going to love it. All right, we're talking golf now because the Open starts overnight across the pond. And we're hoping for horrible weather conditions for the entire weekend.
We love horrible weather conditions at the Open Championship. Of course, Royal Troon is where we are going to be at this year. The last time we were at Royal Troon, 2016, that was the Phil Mickelson-Henrik Stenson duel as they went back mano a mano for both Saturday and Sunday, with Stenson finally winning that battle. Let's start, Scotty, with Rory McIlroy. Of course, Rory has had several close calls in trying to get that next major championship that's now over 10 years since it has happened. We know the deal at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst last month. Of course, even in the Open Championship 2 years ago at St. Andrews, he had a 3-shot lead on the back nine, and that evaporated. Rory thinks still that eventually the door is going to kick in, Scotty. Here he is.
It doesn't bother me. I know
Yes,
that I'm
does.
in a good spot. And if I think about 2015 through 2020, that 5-year stretch, I seldom had a realistic chance to win a major championship in that 5-year period. So I'd much rather have these close calls. It means that I'm getting closer. But yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be able to, play the golf and get one over the line. But as soon as I do that, people are going to say, well, when are you going to win your sixth? So it's never ending.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I just know that he needs to break the ice finally on winning. It's been too long, and to see what happened to him at Pinehurst, and then he's wandering around Manhattan looking up at skyscrapers and talking to himself. I mean, I feel bad for this guy. In fact, I want him to win. I want him to win it. In fact, that's who I'm going to bet on. I want him to win it. This has got to end at some point. The bleeding has to stop. When I was on the warfarin, Carver High, and you cut yourself, you bleed for 3 or 4 days. Your boy Rory's been on the warfarin for too long. Bleed now. We need the bleeding to stop. We need him to win at Troon.
Need him to win at Troon. That I wouldn't listen. I have a lot of guys that I want to win this week. If I had to lose, I wouldn't mind seeing Rory. I don't root against Rory. There's plenty of times that I have backed Rory. There's plenty of times he's let me down. Could there be a chance that if Rory's playing well, Scotty, on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, that I try to do a little put it with the golf and add him with like a home run, get a nice price on him? I very well could. And I would like to see Rory win. I would, because he
plays
is
good
going
every
to win
tournament. He's always in everything.
I know this has been excruciating probably for him, especially the last 3 to 4 years where he's had some real close calls. He's going to win another major. It's going to eventually happen for him. And you never know. That could open the floodgates to him winning maybe 2 more, maybe 3 more. I mean, he ain't getting up into that ridiculous talk that people thought 10 years ago, but he's going to win another.
Didn't the last time he lost at St. Andrews, he turned around and won the Tour Championship and won all that money down at Eastlake?
Correct. That was 2 years ago. He won the 15 or 20 million, whatever it is, at the Tour Championship. Yeah. So he's had a knack of kind of bouncing back off of these really excruciating major losses. Obviously, he played the Scottish last week, and now this is his second event since the U.S. Open, and he didn't play bad last week, I didn't think. He finished in the top 10. I don't remember exactly where in the top 10 he finished, but he did finish in the top 10 at
he was fourth.
The Renaissance Club. He might have been. Yeah, there was a pretty big log jam for, I think, like 6 or 7 guys tied for fourth. So he must have finished in that bunch right there.
I'm worried about his putting, his short putts. He's got to have the yips.
Yes. Scotty Scheffler, of course, has had the year of his life. He's already won 6 tournaments. He won a major at the Masters. He won the Players. He has racked in more money than you could possibly imagine this year. We have not seen him, though, in a while. He did not play at the Scottish Open last week. He's been getting a lot of rest, Scotty. Of course, he's a new dad. Him and the wife having the baby a couple of months ago. And he needs to rest up, Scotty, because there's a lot more obligations when you become the number 1 player in the world. Here's Scheffler.
When we come back out here on the road and come try and play and do things, I have the energy to compete. I have the energy to really the social energy to come out and interact with the fans and, do this kind of stuff, sit in the media center. Believe it or not, this isn't, my favorite thing in the world to do. But it's part of the job, and it's something that I enjoy. I enjoy doing it. I like being able to come in here and sit and talk to you guys and, do all the stuff that comes with playing great golf. It's a pretty cool feeling to be able to make somebody's day just by signing an autograph or taking a picture. That's a pretty fun feeling, and I'm trying to embrace more of that side of it than not being able to sign everybody's autograph, and then people are upset because you can't get to them throughout the day. That's not a fun feeling. So I'm trying to lean more into the feeling of making somebody's day just by simply signing something or taking a picture.
Okay, that was really some of the most ridiculous stuff I've ever heard on this show. I care about this guy's autograph and picture taking and having to do an interview, and he's tired and all the rest. I thought he was going to come on there and start talking about, ever since I had this damn baby, I can't sleep. All I do is stay up all night feeding this baby, taking turns with my wife. What a bad decision that was, having a baby. I go, listen, these babies and these kids, we all have them. If you have them, if you don't, respectfully, I say this, they are a pain in the ass. It is no joke. It is toxic. I mean, it is 24/7 for at least, I'd say 13 years. I mean, when they're 14, 15, 16, 17, they're on their way, right? They're, when they're teenagers, they're done listening to you. They do whatever they want, and they typically get away with it. But when they're little, when they're newborn until they're 13 years old, it's like you might as well not even – your life's over. Your life's over. I don't know how you have who's the guy? Burns. His wife had twins 2 weeks ago. He's pitching in the All-Star game. The guy, he needs a bottle of Johnny Black. I mean, he flew home to twins. Can you imagine twins or triplets? Honestly, I'd be like, where's the fentanyl? I can't take it. I can barely take one. My son was colic. I wanted to jump. I mean, this kid screamed all day. I thought, I was like, this is hell. Why? Who signed up for this? I never wanted Eddie to begin with. This chick lured me with all of her babies and everything. She lured me into this Carver High. I never signed up for any of this. I like going to the martini club and having a few drinks. I don't need babies.
Don't need it. And I got to listen. I would say he's tired since he had the baby, but he won a bunch. He won the Memorial, the Travelers. He's won a bunch of tournaments.
I don't want him to win it.
I don't want him. We don't want him anywhere near
him. Like his baby Sunday. Or his family.
Later on, I'll try to sneak in Bryson for you, and we'll get your pick. I've got the big featured groups for tomorrow and Friday, who's playing with who. So I'll do all that. Of course, I've got the picks with Cam coming next. We'll do the lion's share. You got Coach. We got a lot of things to do this hour.
Heavens to Betsy, the pressure I'm under to come up with a golf pick up against you, the titan of golf pickers. How do I go into that realm?
It is Canada. Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament, or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played 2 matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I want to know, too, what was the highest you ever got on both of those metrics?
So the highest club head speed I've ever gotten with a 45-inch driver, we'll just say stock, was, I think it was 129.9. I never cracked 130. Never cracked 130. That was juice. That was on caffeine. I can't even talk. And then I got 195 ball speed.
195 ball speed.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And we are back for El Coast to Coast on a Wednesday, a Golf Wednesday on C2C. Carver High here with you. Of course, it is time to get ready for this week's PGA Tour event, which happens to be the last major of the year, the Open Championship at Royal Troon, the final major, in most opinions, the best major of the year. And, of course, the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, is with us every week here on C2C on Golf Wednesdays to get ready for the event. Cam, great to see you, as always, my man. And I guess we just have to say it very simply. Let's stay hot, buddy. Let's stay hot. That's the word to say.
You are so hot. I said, I know the family. I hope they don't watch the show, because it's like, can Carver put some away so you can go with your pals to the bar for a couple Guinness? Kids, Great Wolf Lodge, 1 week.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Carver. You've been hitting everything. You and Morency were on a heater for a while with Teoscar Hernandez, everything. Let's do this thing. Open Championship. Went out for a pint, Carver, and know what the best was? One guy goes, "Who do you got in the British Open?" The other guy is, "It's the Open Championship, you idiot. It ain't the British Open." So the Scottish guy and the English guy were going to throw down. So we'll call it the
They're gonna throw down over it. As we look, let's get I got you for a double shot, so we have a little bit more time than usual. So I'll start with this, and that's the chalk at the top of the Open Championship, Cam. Now, of course, Scotty Scheffler is going to be there. I've seen a small slip here, plus 550 now for Scotty. Rory at 8-1. Xander, Bryson, who's been unbelievable at majors this year. Morikawa, Aubert, Rahm, Fleetwood, and Hatton are the guys at the top of the board. Cam, when you go into this Open Championship, there has not been we have a really crazy run, too, of Americans winning majors. I think it's at there hasn't been a non-American to win a major in 2 or 3 years. So this is an event where I'm usually looking at the Europeans, Cam. Obviously, with it being over there, these guys have played courses like this a lot more in their life. The Fleetwoods, the Rahms, et cetera, et cetera. How do you like to attack the Open Championship?
I will say this, though. Some Americans are very good in links golf. Like Colin Morikawa, he went in there and he won. And I'm starting to see Wyndham Clark. I think he's figuring it out, too. It's one of those things. It's like The thing about it is, Carver, I got to tell you, Scotty Scheffler is great everywhere. I'm not sure. Like, it's one of those things, you look at that price, so like, I'll take you at the John Deere or like another, like even like Masters 7-1 or something like that. But here, I don't know. But I will say this. I think Morikawa is dangerous. I think Xander Schauffele is dangerous. So those are Americans that I'm looking at. And I will say this, and I respect your opinion, Brady's opinion. Brady Cannon, you and him have been on fire too. And I looked at Rory. I'm like, I just want more. But I think Brady's on Rory this week too. I know he's in Hawaii. He showed me some picture and go, that's what happens when you win golf bets. You get to take your lady to Hawaii. So let's screw Grey Wolf Lodge. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go to Hawaii.
If I didn't have kids, Cam, maybe that would be what I would be doing with all the winnings. Maybe that would be going on. Now, a lot of people say that Scheffler, this is his quote-unquote worst major, right, Cam?
Yep.
I mean, T8, T21, T23. It's not like he's missed the cut all 3 times. Like, it's not, the guy's always a factor, and I expect him to be a factor again this week. I have no exposure whatsoever on him, Cam. I got nothing with Scheffler, so I'm hoping that he's nowhere to be found on Sunday. So that's the main thing for me. Let's get to, of course, our cards, and we will start with the outrights. Let's stay hot. And I keep going back to this guy, Cam, because honestly, I know it's coming. I feel like we've had like a 3 or 4 month stretch of incredible play from Colin Morikawa, and it just hasn't paid off yet for us, but I know it's going to. 18-1 for Morikawa. He's a former Open Championship winner. He's been excellent in the majors so far this year with top 10 finishes. That is where I'm going to start my card, and we'll see if he can break through. Tommy Fleetwood, the boyhood dream, winning the Open Championship. Hopefully it can finally happen for him this week. 25-1 for him. I feel like Jon Rahm, Cam, is a little... I feel like Rahm's a little embarrassed of how he's played in the majors. Now, he didn't play in all 3 of them. He had the toe problem last month at the U.S. Open. And now I'm getting a guy who last year was like 8-1 to win the Open Championship, and this year I'm getting him at 25-1 to win. I watched him on Sunday, Cam, at Live. He's playing good. Rahm at 25 for me for a big bounce back. Tyrrell Hatton is playing great golf on Live. 28-1 for him. He has a top 5 here. Here at this place in 2016, he finished 5th at Royal Troon. Shane Lowry, the Irish Bear, that is an auto play for me at every Open Championship. I don't care where they're playing. And Tom Kim, I'm going to put in the same as Morikawa. Not as long, Cam, but it's more like a month and a half, 2 months of Tom Kim knocking on the door, and he's excellent on links courses and at the Open Championship, 60-1 for him.
Love your picks, Carver. And one thing about Morikawa is he was right in the mix last week. We watched the tournament, right? And what happened? A couple missed clubs. The wind came up a couple times.
Every week.
No, that's
every
the thing.
week.
He made like the guy should be winning. He's missing putts. It's like him and Rory are the guys. Like they're the guys. It's like, when are you going to get it done? I'm with you. Give me Morikawa. Actually, Carver, I just found a bet boost on him at 20-1. So you can I'm going to hit that one twice. Tyrrell Hatton. This guy's kicking ass on Live. He right now 28-1 looks good. I can't believe I'm doing this. Tony Finau 38-1. I'm going to tell you, Carver, this is a type of course, if you can just avoid the pot bunkers and play smart golf. Tom Kim, you got a better number. 50-1. Wyndham Clark, like the way he closed in Scotland. Low round, 66-1. And, oh, my God, the little lefty that could, Brian Harman. You know what? Take another waggle like Patrick Cantlay, but I don't care. It's 70-1. Waggle, waggle, waggle all the way to the bank.
I know, Cam, and listen, Harman won last year, and he won in dominating fashion.
Yes, he did.
I think that number is a little disrespectful considering that he's the defending champ and how he won. And as far as Clark goes, a lot's been made about he won the U.S. Open last year, and he's been awful in every other major he's ever played in his life. I think you're right. I think we saw a little something from him last week in the way that he closed on Sunday. I think maybe we got ourselves a little something. I'm going to have him for some 5s and 10s, Cam, and see if we can get there. We'll give all of our 5s, 10s, and 20s and the first-round leader bombs when we come back. Ferrall Coast to Coast, a Golf Wednesday with the Prime Minister. We're back after this.
It is Canada. Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played 2 matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I want to know, too, what was the highest you ever got on both of those metrics?
So the highest club head speed I've ever gotten with a 45-inch driver, we'll just say stock, was, I think it was 129.9. I never cracked 130. Never cracked 130. That was juice. That was on caffeine. I can't even talk. And then I got 195 ball speed.
195 ball speed.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live. Prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
Sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And we are back for El Coast to Coast on a Wednesday, a Golf Wednesday here on C2C. Carver High, along with the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, who's with me every week to go through the card for the golf. And this week, of course, is our last major, the Open Championship, which is at Royal Troon. Okay, Cam, let's get to the placements here. We've done the outrights. And here's where I'm going to start, is with Rory. Now, me and Scotty were just talking about Rory. If I don't win, Cam, and I have to lose to somebody that's not one of these pre-tournament outrights, I hope it's Rory. I'd like to see Rory finally end this nonsense. He's been so close so many times. I'll look to Cam. I'm going to watch Rory live very closely on Thursday and Friday and see if maybe I can get a 10 or a 12 or, see if maybe somebody gets out hot. Rory hasn't started yet. See if I can get that number dipped a little bit. But I am going to go top 5 with him at plus 210. Xander Schauffele, top 10 in every major so far this year. Plus 120 for him to be top 10 again. Cam Smith at the Open Championship 2 years ago. Plus 4 bills for him to finish in the T10. Louis Oosthuizen. We haven't seen Louis come up in big spots in a while, Cam, but his game has gotten better this year on live. Maybe he's healthy. Maybe he's back in the mix. I'm going to try him this week with a T20 at plus 200. There's Wyndham the Butler Clark for a T20 for me at plus 220. Ryan Crazy Like a Fox is a links course staple for me. T20 at plus 400. And Victor Perez, Cam, these guys that played well at the Scottish last week, I wanted to take one of them, whether it was Perez or Mateo or some of these guys. I landed on Perez with the best track record here to get me to the window for a T20.
Perez better than Romaine Lettuce less gain? Yeah, that's the
Romaine,
thing. I think
Romaine.
I remember one time I took Perez. He shot like an 83, and I'm done with him. But you know what? He's actually going to do well. Carver, great pick with Fox. Do you remember about the foxhole? When I called you in church, he was our guy. Let's roll. Rory McIlroy. Carver's got more stones than me, and he's winning more. So he took him top 5. I'll take him top 10 at even money. Xander Schauffele, all he does is show up. He played like junk last week and finished T14. Top 10, plus 150. Fleetwood, he probably won't win, but he'll be there. I'm getting plus money for a top 20. I'd actually play him for a top 10. Sahith Theegala showed me a lot last week, Carver. I thought he played really, really well. plus 180. I'm not even screwing around with top 40s. Alex Norton for a top 40 at even money. We bet baseball games at minus 30, minus 40. I'll take Norton. This guy played great last week, too, inside the top 10. And Tom McKibben, if you know Uncle Tom, I tell you, Tom McKibben, watch out for him on the DP World Tour. This guy's actually a good player who nobody knows about. That is a great price. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy actually finished top 10 or 20.
I kind of liked him, Gam. I might throw him as one of my bombs for the first-round leader as well, and I know you're going to have him too here in a moment. And let's go there next, the first-round leader. And I'm going to go against my normal routine, Cam, for two guys. I usually don't take the favorites. That's why I call it first-round leader bombs. I'm going for deep shots. But Morikawa and Fleetwood, I'm going to put on my first-round leader card this week at 28 and 40 to 1 and see if I can get them going. Then Corey Connors at 60 to 1. Aaron Rye at 70 to 1. Hey, Cam, me and you were on In-Game Live Saturday night here, and we said, watch two guys on Sunday who are not in the Open and need to play well. Aaron Rye and Cam Davis. Well, Rye came through in a big way, ended up with a T10. 70 to 1 here. The Dean Burmeister at 80 to 1. And then a couple real bombs for you, Cam. Richard Mansell at 120 to 1. And remember Marcel Siem,
I do.
the German with the ponytail, the bun in the back. 150 to 1 for first round leader. Let's go.
Carver, not only did Rye finish whatever, he finished T4. Like he did. Like we should have bet that crazy.
Me and you were talking about his price for 10 and 20 and how good they were. We never even looked at 5. You must have got a great number for that.
I got to tell you, Rye's awesome. Xander Schauffele is a known hot starter, 25 to 1. That's the thing, Carver. Sometimes I don't care about bombs. Let's just hit a winner. Tommy Fleetwood is always out of the gate hot at 33. Finau, I think, will do good work. Wyndham Clark, we talked about him. I think he's absolutely dangerous this week. Jason Day, old man Day, he's got loose clothing now, but not a loose game. Playing well, 90 to 1. And Mr. McKibben, you know me, I can't say no to 110 to 1.
Cam, there you go. The Open Championship, of course, at Royal Troon this week. I got like 30 seconds. You playing anyone in the Jabroni tournament? The Barracuda?
Right, I am.
You get anybody in here?
Hubbard.
I like
Hubbard in the cupboard.
Hubbard in the cupboard.
Svensson.
Yes.
And who's my other loser? Somebody else. Patrick Rogers. I think I have him
Rico
too.
Hoey.
Yeah,
Rico
Hoey. I got it.
Yeah, Rico Hoey in there.
Who's my other guy too? Shipley. Almost got there last week. Those are our me and you are psychos, Carver.
The Barracuda. Cam, let's stay hot across the pond this week. Cam Stewart, the Prime Minister. We're back after this.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Liv. It's
very exciting, and really, if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this is one of those days for me, so I really shouldn't. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or certainly I don't. So I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
The brighter the lights, the bigger the stakes. Hunt or be hunted. Know your prey. This is a whole new jungle. This is The Lion's Share. Brought to you by BetMGM.
And their incredible first bet 1,500 offer that everybody's talking about. How do you get in on it? 4 easy steps. Download the BetMGM Sportsbook app, first of all, on iOS or Android, or visit BetMGM.com. 2, sign up, deposit at least $10 into your new account. 3, place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. You heard me. And 4, if the bet loses, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened. Capitalism at its finest with BetMGM. Go to BetMGM.com. Make sure you download the BetMGM mobile app on iOS or Android. All right, Carver High. First of all, I want to ask, I saw the Prime Minister there leaving Toronto underwater right now, Aqua World, Water World. Who was his outright and who's his favorite, 4 guys for this Open?
Me and the Prime Minister are actually reading the same mail here on a lot of guys. Cam is on Morikawa, Hatton, Finau, and Tom Kim, and he's got some deep shots with Wyndham Clark and Brian Harman. So he does have, me and him are the same on Morikawa, Hatton, and Kim. I know you said you're going to tell us in a little bit you like Finau. So that's where the Prime Minister is at for his outright card.
All right, there you go. Very exciting. And then you'll go next hour with your boy Stewie number 2 and see what he's up to.
We will see if we can continue to match all the cards and see who we all have. And if we all have the same guys, that's usually a pretty good thing for us. How about we get into the Lion's Share first, brought to you by BetMGM. And I figured, Scotty, with not much going on today and baseball being on a break, why don't we try to give ourselves a little bit of gas for the second half here in baseball with a couple of plays? Because MGM did put up some updated win totals for the rest of the season. I've got a few of those for you and a Judge and a Paul Skeens number to look at as well. Let me give you some over-unders first. Yankees updated number at the All-Star break, 97.5. They're sitting at 58-40 right now, Scotty. Listen, you know I love the Yankees, but I don't think they're getting to 98 wins. I don't think they're going to win 40 of their last 64 games. 40-24 just doesn't sit well with me. I think they'll win in the low to mid-90s, but 98 is asking too much. So it pains me to start this way. Under 97.5 for the Yankees' updated win total.
Well, I mean, so in other words, you believe that Baltimore's going to do it because they have the same amount of wins?
Look, I'm not even saying, well, first of all, I do think that Baltimore is going to win the division. But I just think that looking at how they've played over the last month, asking the Yankees, who have 64 games left, to go 34-20 or whatever, 40, whatever it is, 40-24 to cover that number, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to win 40 of their last 64.
Fair enough. I think that's extreme. 16 games over 500 the rest of the way. But I'll tell you what, if they do that, if they do it, they'll win the division. They'll win the East.
I agree on that. I agree with you there. If they get to the 98, they'll win the AL East. I don't think that both the Yankees and the Orioles are going to win 98, 99, 100 games. I think that whoever comes in second is going to end up. I'll go with you there. I could see both being in the 93 to 95 range, or whoever wins the division being around 95. A lot of this also plays into who do you have left on your schedule? Do you have a lot of bad teams left? I think that that's something which for a few of these teams does matter and you have to dive into. My next one for you, another under. I'm staying in the AL East, and that's the Rays. The Rays check in at 48-48 at the break. Their number 79.5. I saw stories this morning, Scotty, that they are going to look to possibly sell off some of their pieces, as in guys that have been playing pretty well for them. Paredes, who just went to the All-Star game, and a few others. They're a 500 team to begin with. So me asking them to go basically 500 again over the rest of the season and possibly lose some guys, I'll go under 79.5.
Yeah, I mean, they did go 500 with what they have, but if they sell off, they won't go 500. I agree with you.
Next, one more under for you. I got a lot of unders here, Scotty. I think teams aren't going to play well, and that's the Washington Nationals. Now, the Nationals have made people a lot of money in the first half. They're one of those teams we look at every week that you're able to go to the window with their money line bets. But if you look over the last month, they're starting to let go of the rope a little bit. They have now fallen to 44-53. They're 3-7 in their last 10 going into the All-Star break. They're giving you a number here of 72.5. I think the trend that we saw going into the break will continue for them, Scotty, and they have a lot of games with some of the better teams. Lots of Phillies, lots of Braves, lots of Mets who have played well. I think under for the Nationals of that updated number, 72.5.
So they need 29 wins to get that.
They need 29 wins. Yes, they would need 29 wins to get that over. And they've got 67 games left. They have 67 games to go.
Yeah, I think they can win 29 games.
Okay, so you'll go with the over on them. This one I think we'll both be in agreement on, and that's a team that we both have liked that has gotten hot going into the second half, and I expect it to continue. The Arizona Diamondbacks over 82.5. They're 49-48 as they get into the break. They've got to get to 83 wins. I think this is very attainable, Scotty, especially if they continue their upward trend that they had coming into the break.
So they need 33 wins.
Correct. They would need 33 wins over the second half.
I love this bet. That's why that number is where it's at. It's just they're playing good baseball. They are a good baseball team. Carroll started hitting finally. He hasn't hit the whole season. If they get everyone going, I think, and, they're the kryptonite of the Dodgers, right? So if they get everybody going, I think that goes over. I think they can do 33 easily.
And my last one for you is another over, and that is the Phillies. Over 100.5. The Phillies are at 62-34 right now, so that means they've got themselves 66 games left on the schedule. I got to get to 101. I think they will continue what they've done and be the team with the best record, not just in the National League, Scotty, but in all of baseball. I can get to 101 wins with the Phillies.
Yeah, I agree. I've already told you I like them to win the pennant. They got, what? They had 8 pitchers in the All-Star game. I mean, the bottom line is their bats, their pitching, their manager, everything about them spells trouble for the Dodgers, for the Braves, for the National League. And somebody's going to have that many wins. And, they'd be the prime suspect. They'd be the number one team with a shot to do it. I think it's them. I agree with you.
All right, let me so there you go. We both like the Phillies. We both like the Diamondbacks there for those overs. All right, 2 props for players here for the rest of the season. First, we've talked about this one already. Judge, the home run number, 55.5, minus 110 to the over. He's at 34 right now. That means I need what, Scotty? 22 homers over the last 64 games from Judge. I think we can absolutely get that and get ourselves to 56. And the other one quickly is Skeens, over 161.5 strikeouts. He is sitting right now at 89 at the break. So he's got 89 strikeouts right now. We got to get to 162. If he pitches, like I've said to you, I think he will smoke through 161.5.
Well, I think he will too, but it's up to Shelton and it's up to Charrington and it's up to Nutting. And are they going to let him go every 5 days the rest of the way? If they are in a wild card playoff position, they're 1.5 out going into the second half. If they continue to play good baseball and they are in it, then he will pitch, then he will go over that number. And that'll happen easily. If they yank his ass in September, he won't do it. And I am on Judge to hit 60 home runs. So he'll go over 55.5.
Let's go.
The Lion's Share, presented by BetMGM.
DeMar DeRozan now joins that team in Sacramento with the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Devin Carter, who they drafted early, Keegan Murray as well. A Kings team, DRS, that has been a playoff contender.
Is it going to equate to a championship? Probably not. That's not the goal. Make your team better every offseason. The Kings definitely got better with that move here, Ben.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The WNBA is a unique market, right? It moves a little bit different. You take a bet, a limit play, even if the limit is 2 dimes on a side, you don't go from 11.5 to 12. You know what I mean? You got to go. Because if they bet you the second number, then you go, oh boy, now we have a decision that we really didn't think we got a big decision. Books love decisions.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
It is Canada. Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament, or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played 2 matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds. Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're going to talk to Coach Young now about a few things. Summer League and Team USA shredded Serbia today. Coach, we've surmised that Monday's the title game for the Summer League in Vegas, so this weekend will be the playoffs. And all I know is the Knicks might cover that 5.5 today against Sacramento. They're down 1 with about 2.5 minutes left in the third. Will they cover the 5 and a hook? And finally, because I think they've looked awful in Las Vegas.
Oh, Ferrall, they've been throwing the ball all around the gym. Their turnovers, which you obviously know how Tibbs is, drives him absolutely nuts. So, yeah, they've been turning over the ball a lot. You look at their play and you're like, okay, well, can they put it together? It looked really good in the first quarter against the Nets, and then absolutely bombed out. They're up 4 now. Obviously,
they're up 4.
To me, they're up 4. To me, honestly, it's the play of Tyler Kolek actually scoring the ball a little bit, being a little bit more aggressive. 11 shots today, 13 points, 6 assists. He continues to play well. I just think today he's a little bit more, I would say, active offensively, looking for his shot, because let's be honest, he passed the ball to these jokers. They ain't making them. He started to take more shots, which I think is good for Kolek, because we need to see him come off of that pick and roll and kind of look for himself a little bit more, because then it makes defenses play a little bit more honestly.
Heat are up 83-74 on the Mavericks. Later, coming up in 15 minutes, we got the Raptors and Jazz. Raptors minus 4.5. Who do you like there?
Yeah, actually, I like the Raptors. Raptors being 2-0, they've played relatively well. So I do like the way that they've looked so far. They're scoring a decent amount of points, obviously getting, 84 in their game, not too long ago. So I think they'll look pretty good. I'm going to take a look at them and get the win. When you look at the Raptors, you're trying to see how some of these guys played. Grady Dick did not play particularly well last game, but they're getting points from other kids. Freeman obviously played well last game. Battle scoring. I want to see how Abaji plays better. And then obviously getting Jamal Shed, who obviously, we're both big fans of Jamal Shed. So 9 points, 5 assists last game, showing that he can run a little bit of points. So give me the Raptors minus the points.
And then the Hornets are getting 4.5 from the Celtics, and the Hornets haven't lost either. Some of these teams, Toronto, the Hornets, are shaping up to be in these playoffs this weekend.
Yeah, they are. But the only thing you have to worry about the Hornets is how many more games does like Brandon Miller play? Like when did he start pulling some of these guys? I think is something would be of a concern in regards to betting. But they've looked relatively good. Obviously beating Knicks, which everybody beats the Knicks in Summer League right now. But also beating Denver. But when you kind of look at the Hornets, the one thing you want to look at is Tijan Salam, the rookie kid. 10 points, 10 rebounds last game, showing a little bit more of an offensive game and obviously the ability to rebound. So that's something to take a look at is how much we see Salam play better. And that's when you get nervous, Ferrall. It's like as these teams start pulling their guys, they're going to start pulling the second-year guys first, right, after they play a game or two well. So if you would have Brandon Miller in this game, they would have easily been favored in this game. Obviously, Brandon Miller didn't play last game, so that's why you have the Celtics as the favorites.
So the best game is Grizzlies Magic at 7. They're both 2-0, and the Grizzlies, I think, score more than anybody in the Summer League.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ferrall, they scored 108 and 103, I think, in Summer League. But don't sleep on the Magic, 106 and 91 points. Ferrall, out of all these rookies, one of the ones I've been really, and you know where I'm going, because we're going to your guy, Tad Boyle, to Silva. He's looked really, really good. Really good. He looks like the goods. 23 points last game. Can do a little bit, shoot it from 3. He presents an interesting case in Orlando because now you're going to look at a team of Orlando that one needs to shoot the ball better. We've seen they can't hit anything. But now they're starting to develop a little bit of depth. I kind of like this second unit with obviously De Silva and Mo Wagner as your 3-4. That gives a little bit of a scoring punch for Orlando. And maybe you could see at times during the season De Silva in with Wagner and Banchero, maybe go small ball, Banchero to the 5, go 5 out and really spread teams out.
How bad was Sarr yesterday?
Oh boy, Sarr may have had SARS. I mean, we sit there, and we're going to sit there and we're going to cuss out Bronny James for missing a shot here or a shot there. I mean, Ferrall, he couldn't hit one shot, and it wasn't like he got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Ferrall, the brother, got 15 looks at the 10 and couldn't get one down. That is like a John Starks-esque performance.
But that's a horrible sign for his career.
Well, Ferrall, 0-7 from 3. And here's the thing. You got to realize, folks, they did sign Jonas Valanciunas to a 3-year deal. So now this guy may have to beat a 4. 0-7 from 3. Yikes. But to me, on the other side, David Klingen is not finishing around the basket, Ferrall, but 8 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocked shots, no fouls in 26 minutes. That's great. Big for a team, for Trailblazers that are going to need him to block shots and defend because Lord knows between Sharp, Simon, and Henderson, they're not stopping a lot of guys on the perimeter. It's going to be a free lane that Donovan Clayton's going to have to protect.
Fever and Wings tonight in Dallas. Indies laying 4.5, and you and I have had this conversation. They're hot. They're playing great ball.
Yeah, they're hot. They're playing really good ball. I really look at them to kind of get the job done here. So I do think I like them to cover the spread tonight. But to me, one thing to look at really quick is no Sabally and no secrets. Big trade in WNBA just went down about an hour ago. Marina Mabrey got traded from Chicago to the Sun. This is big, folks. Connecticut can't shoot. That is their problem. Marina Mabrey is one of the best shooters. She's tough as nails. She's a Jersey Shore kid. I know the family, so you know I'm going to back her. And she crushes the Liberty. They lost last night because they can't shoot. Marina Mabrey, that's a really sneaky good trade for the Connecticut Sun.
And what'd you think of the USA blowing out Serbia?
I'll tell you what, they showed up to play today don't they? And I am loving this Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis 4-5 combo. Switchability, athletic, defends, block shots, hits that mid-range game. Loved what I saw today out of USA basketball.
Yeah, play them and sit Embiid because he's so messed up right now. I'd go with the other two. Coach, great stuff.
It is Canada. Canada is one of those teams that's the darling of the tournament right now. They're still 9-1.
To win a tournament or even to advance far into a tournament like this, you need a bit of good fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're getting the good fortune that Canada has, where they played 2 matches where they were up a man, or you had the good fortune of Argentina, who's one of the best teams in the world, who just got on the good side of the draw.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I want to know, too, what was the highest you ever got on both of those metrics?
So the highest club head speed I've ever gotten with a 45-inch driver, we'll just say stock, was, I think it was 129.9. I never cracked 130. Never cracked 130. That was juice. That was on caffeine. I can't even talk. And then I got 195 ball speed.
195 ball speed.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High, I know you got some of the big names talking about the Open Championship here for us.
Yeah, we'll finish this off with Bryson before we get to your picks. Of course, Bryson coming off winning the U.S. Open last month, and he took that U.S. Open trophy basically everywhere. Into the crowd, everybody got to touch it, everybody got to do everything with it. What happens if he wins the Claret Jug on Sunday, Scotty? Expect more of the same.
Your U.S. Open win really resonated with the fans at Pinehurst, so I'm wondering if you could envision a similar situation if you win Sunday here.
Oh, for sure. It would be awesome to let everybody touch the Claret Jug. That'd be a dream come true, but I got to get the job done first. I can't think too far ahead, and I've got to focus on executing the shots into the right conditions and just take account of everything that's going on and stay in the moment and execute the right shot. I mean, that's the most important thing this week, is giving yourself the best chance, is taking into account the wind, the rain, the slopes, the bounces, the greens, and just making sure that you're doing the right thing in that moment, because it's so variable all day long. The winds are shifting and moving and gusting, and so just making sure you're hitting that right shot at the right moment is key.
Yeah, how can I not put him in a top 10 or even Fleetwood? These guys that are from over there, I give them a huge advantage. That's just me. There's something about it. They grow up playing links golf. I think they are cut out for it. This guy is just, I think, cut out for majors. And I just think he's got the goods. I think he's got big ball. He's got stones. He goes for it, and for a stiff arm putter, he can really putt. I mean, this guy looks like stiff and miserable standing over a putt, but they go in. So I got to put him top 10 for sure. My choice is Rory, and then it's Finau, and then it's Terrell Hatton and Oberg, and then I would put DeChambeau and Fleetwood in a top 10. But I've had enough of Rory not getting it done. Like the torture, the suffering, it's almost like Phil in Opens finishing second 6 times. I just want Rory to win it. And really, get the monkey off his back. And it's not to shut anybody up either, because nobody bashes him or hates him for not winning another major for the way he started his career. They're doing the same stuff now to Spieth and Thomas. They're doing the same thing to them. They won early in their career, and then they don't win anymore. And people, they're going to start saying the same things about them. The media is real fickle. You either win or they'll eventually come around and do you.
That's how it goes. You got to stay on top. Like I was saying to you earlier, I would love to see Rory involved on Sunday and have a chance to take this thing home. He will start his Open journey tomorrow morning, so this is going to be perfect for you because you get up around here to head to the gym. Rory, 5:09 a.m. East, and he's playing with Tyrrell Hatton and Max Homa. So that's Rory's group tomorrow morning, East Coast,
That's
5 o'clock in the morning is when he's teeing off. Tiger will tee off at 9:37 a.m. on the East Coast with Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. Oberg's with DeChambeau and Tom Kim. That's at 4:45 a.m. East. Rahm, Fleetwood, and Bobby Mack. And Wyndham Clark, Hideki, and Brooks Koepka, 9:26 East tomorrow morning. So
I'd put Bobby Mack in a top 10 as well. I'd put Kim in the top 10 as well. I think I'm sitting at around 8 guys right there that I'd be interested in.
I would love to see. Tom Kim has been excellent on links courses. He's been excellent the last 2 years in this event. Came close last year, finished in second. I just think that Tom Kim, and he's been knocking on the door here the last month. He lost that playoff to Scheffler at the Travelers. So I like guys who are also playing some pretty good golf when they come into this event. So that's a good call by you. I go Tom Kim with a 5 and a 10 if you want to add him in for the mix there. So there you go, the Open Championship. I can't wait. If I didn't have 2 kids to get up in the morning, I'd be watching at 1:30 a.m. But instead, I'll watch Rory at 6 when I get up, and the rest of those guys.
Again, it's the same thing as people saying Wimbledon center court is the greatest court in tennis. I disagree. The U.S. Open is better than Wimbledon. People say the Masters is the greatest golf tournament in the world. I disagree. The Open Championship is way better than the Masters. Brutal conditions, brutal golf courses, brutal bunkers, brutal greens, wind, rain, conditions. It kicks the Masters' ass in my book.
The WNBA is a unique market, right? It moves a little bit different. You take a bet, a limit play, even if the limit is 2 dimes on a side, you don't go from 11.5 to 12. You know what I mean? You got to go. Because if they bet you the second number, then you go, oh boy, now we have a decision that we really didn't think we got a big decision. Books love decisions.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Like cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds. Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
DeMar DeRozan now joins that team in Sacramento with the Kings. De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Devin Carter, who they drafted early, Keegan Murray as well. A Kings team, DRS, that has been a playoff contender.
Is it going to equate to a championship? Probably not. That's not the goal. Make your team better every offseason. The Kings definitely got better with that move here, Ben.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.